I created this game in 10 minutes on my Mac, and you can too. Welcome back to the channel. So we all know that Windows PC gaming, it's a little bit better than Mac gaming, right? Macs are slowly getting better, but overall we can all agree Windows PC gaming's slightly better. Okay, so that got me thinking, and this is where the trouble always starts, right, when I'm thinking. Anyways, so I started thinking, can I actually make some games from like the 80s when I grew up, some of those cool 80s style kind of arcade games on my Mac, and can I do it in 10 minutes? Okay, now before you actually click off on the video, you might say, well, of course you can make a game if you're a developer or if you have that experience. I'm telling you, I can train a 10-year-old to make a game here in less than 5 or 10 minutes. It's that easy, and we're going to use the power of ChatGPT. But hold on one second, because it's going to be such a cool, fun arcade game that I've actually created here. You're going to want to do this for a hobby, hands down. Trust me on this. Just watch the whole video. You're going to really like this. Oh yeah, and one last thing. When you're watching this, just remember I spent about 10 minutes making this. Imagine if you spent 1 hour, 2 hours, a day, what you actually could achieve. Okay, full disclaimer here, I do pay $20 a month for ChatGPT, but I believe this can be done on the free version as well, as long as you kind of stretch it over some time here. It's really, really easy. And I'm going to be saying this like a 10-year-old, just to prove to you a 10-year-old can actually do this. Take a look at my screen over here. So here's ChatGPT. The very first thing I typed in is, can you create a game for an Apple computer or an iPhone? That's all I said to it, right? That's all I started with. It came back here and said, yes, absolutely we can create a game on the Mac or iPhone. This is ChatGPT. It says the easiest ways here is a web game. It runs on a Mac and iPhone instantly. This is going to be HTML and CSS plus JavaScript, right? It also says I can create a native iPhone app, App Store ready. Can you imagine that? This is going to use Swift, Swift's the languaging model for Apple. It also says a native Mac app, so Swift and SpriteKit here, or Unity. It's got all these different examples just from that one line I put in there, all right? So let's just keep moving down the list here. It says, if you want the fastest path, I can generate a complete web game, all right? And the web game is that HTML game. And that's what I'm going to be doing in this video because it's so easy to create. Now it says here are basically 5 quick game ideas that I can build immediately. Now you can obviously read through this and it's going to tell you, exactly what it came up with, but you can tell it anything, all right? So you don't have to say one of these things here. You can actually pick whatever you want. Anything you can think of in your head here, which is where I get a little bit dangerous, and you can go ahead and just tell it and it'll do it. But what I said is the next thing is over here. Okay, so I typed this like a 10-year-old just to prove it to you. It says, create a space shooter classic arcade game for the Mac. I want it 2D in landscape. I didn't even say landscape mode. You notice this. And have it pretty. I said have it pretty, and use a ship that looks like the space shuttle and have it take place in space in an unknown galaxy. That's all I typed in there. This thing next one said, yep, I can make you a classic 2D space shooter that runs great on the Mac and landscape, looks pretty. And then it gives me some of these features in here, right? Below is a complete single file game. No assets required. So it's going to create a single file game out of HTML for me. And you're going to be super impressed on what this can actually do. So next what it did is down here, it actually started writing all of the code. And I'm going to show this to you. It says create the game file. And I'll show you exactly what it's saying, but it's basically just saying create a folder called, you can name it whatever you want, but it's saying shuttle shooter. And then this file is going to be called index.html. That's all there is to it, just one single file. So next it went ahead and it created all this code. Take a look at this. I'm just going to scroll down. I mean, it's a lot of code. So it just started creating all the code for me. And, let's just get to the end of it. It's so long. Look at this. All this, it did it in about 2 minutes, this part right here. So it took about 2.5 minutes. And it got to the end here. And then it says run it on your Mac, all right? So it says double click the index file, open it up in Safari or Chrome, and then press any key to start. So this is where I had a little bit of an issue. It gives me the controls right here too as well. So it created all the controls with the arrow keys. You can use the fire for the space bar. A whole bunch of different stuff in here. There's a pause button even built in. But so I have the code here. So what do I have to do here to get this to actually work? This is kind of where I got a little stuck. It's really, really easy, but just you have to follow this part, and then I'm going to show you the game. Okay, so let me show you where I went wrong first of all, because this is going to be important so you kind of learn where I went wrong, and then you won't make the same mistake. So I went over here and I copied the code. So you just copy all of the code there. It said just put it in an HTML file, and then you can run that HTML file. So what I did basically is I went into, let me just go to Launchpad. Inside of Launchpad, usually in your other folder here, there's this text editor. It's called Text Edit right there. So I opened this up like this, and all I did was I took this and I went Control V. I pasted everything in there, and I went ahead and I went File, and then I went down here and I went to, let me just see here, Save. Now the mistake I made right off the bat is I saved this as an HTML file. You can see it right in here, right there. So I saved it as that. The problem is when I did that and I saved it just like I just showed you, I just pasted it in and saved it as an HTML file, it wasn't running. Let me actually cancel this. Okay, there we go. So here we go. So the very first one I created was called game one here, actually index, I'm sorry, index. So let me go ahead and open this up. So I'm like, this should just work if I open it up. So I double clicked on it and all I got was code in here. See this? This is all I got was just code. So it wasn't running the game, it was just showing me the code that I snapped in there or I pasted in there, and that wasn't how it works. So what you actually have to do is this. Let me just show you really quickly. If it's gonna be a single HTML file, you have to do this, all right? Watch. Okay, so you go back, do the exact same thing, open up this text edit field here. Now before you actually paste it in, right, this is where I made the mistake. Before you paste it in, you want to go up here to format, see right here, and then just say make plain text right there. See it? Make plain text. You're going to notice it kind of creates just a blank document here, and then you paste it in, all right? Now this is also key here, so watch this for a second. So once this is all pasted in here, then I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Save, all right? Now what is going to happen is it tells us to do this. So I'm going to call it index, all right? Index right here, just like that, all right? That's the name of the file. But what I want to do is I want to actually change it to an HTML file, right? Just like that, HTML. So I want to change it to that. Now when I save it, now usually there might have been a text extension here. You want to remove that text extension and just type in HTML. It sounds kind of counterintuitive because you're removing the extension that it wants, but just go ahead and remove it. So you're saving it as a text file, but remove the text.txt or txt and put HTML there. Now when I save it, watch what's going to happen. It's going to say you have used the extension HTML at the end of the name. The standard extension is .txt. So just say use HTML. You don't want to say use text. You want to just use the one you actually inserted there, just like that, all right? It's going to save the game for you. And that's really all there is to it, all right? So now when we go back over here, and let me just go ahead and just run the first time. So the first time I ran this, it worked, and I was amazed by it. Let me just show you really quickly. Okay, so it loaded really quickly, and I was amazed on how it looked right away, right? So what I'm going to do is just click somewhere in here, and I think you can click in there and then move left and right. Look at this. Right away, I'm clicking, this is what happened at first. I'm like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. It looks really cool. I'm getting hit by all these things. I can't fire fast enough. I can't move really fast enough either, and I'm kind of moving back and forth. But long story short, it just went through once like that, and it looked cool, but it wasn't really working the way I wanted it to, all right? So don't get afraid. I mean, it looks cool, but it just doesn't work right. So what I did next is let me just show you, and this is how easy this is to make a game. Just watch this. Okay, so next I went into ChatGPT and I just wrote something right below the code, another prompt. I says, in the application, have the alien ships coming down from the top look like small saucers of various size and colors. Have them come down with less of them, but enough to make moving through them difficult. The purpose of the game will be to shoot these to clear a path that you can fly through. So while you shoot them, they explode and disappear and you can safely keep flying. You can also get scores for the various alien ships you shoot. The larger ones will score less than the smaller and faster moving ships. Finally, have the game continue forever until you get hit. If you get hit, count that as one life and give the player 3 lives until the game is over, and then show the high score. Make the alien ships move around and make it a little harder to shoot, all right? That's all I typed in there after that. A 10-year-old could do that. Obviously, I wrote it like a 10-year-old, all right? So what it did next is it gave me some other options, like to make different types of code, but I didn't, bite on any of those things. I want to keep with the same game in the same HTML. So I said, just go ahead and, keep going. And it basically created, look at another whole thing of code here. So it's basically the same game. It just kind of reworked it all in here. And it went all the way down to the bottom. Let me just see if I can get to the bottom of this one. And then it basically tells you exactly what it's changed here, right? It says it replaced enemy drones with saucer aliens. It did all this different stuff in here, which I'm just going to show you the game here, right? So that was really cool there. So let's go to the game now and see how it came out. Okay, not to get into the whole process like I did before, but you have to do that same process I showed you in the first step over there to get it into that HTML file. So once you do that, I loaded the game over here. Take a look at this game now. So now I did this. Now look I actually have saucer ships. Everything's running a lot smoother. And look so the purpose of the game, they'll start coming with more, consistency here in a second. But I can fly around like this, and I shoot these things. Now, if you look up I have 3 lives over there. Now watch what happens. If I get hit by one of these things, let me just get hit right here. You're going to see up there the lives goes to 2. It's keeping my score up there. So the purpose of this game is just to fly around like this and shoot these little saucers, all right? And when you get hit 3 times, the game will be over. So let me just get hit 3 times. Here's my second time. I get hit a third time, and look at that. It gives me the score here. The high score, and then you can press R to reset. There's also pause in here and everything like that. But this is all built into Safari. Really cool, right? But I want to keep moving this, right? So you can keep making this game better and better every single day. It's a great hobby to get into. So let me just show you what I did next. I had like one simple line, and it's really cool what happened. Okay, next what I said here, I just told us, I said add a boss saucer every 30 seconds that is harder to kill and provide a bonus on points for this. That's all I put in there. It says absolutely, here's the upgrade, a boss saucer every 30 seconds, tougher to kill, and big bonus points. It gave me some stuff it's going to do in here, like boss timer every 30 seconds. You get the idea. You can definitely pause this if you want to see that. And it just says replace your current HTML file with this. So it recoded everything for me. Again, going all the way down here, just about the same amount of code here. It's, I don't know how many hundreds of lines this is, but it did it all within the browser. See this? And it got to the bottom, and it's basically, let me see if I can get there. Hold on one sec. Okay, so it says right here, the boss behavior here, it tells me exactly what it did, all right? So let me go back to the game and show you how it added this boss. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I added that boss, all right? And I may have to skip ahead here to show you because it is 30 seconds. I said he has to come out every 30 seconds. Now let me actually see if I can get to the 30-second mark. And let me just go ahead and I'll skip forward to around the 30-second mark. Okay, we're at the 30-second mark, and look at this. This boss came out, see him up there? Now I have to hit that guy. See that line up there? That line's going to tell me how many times I have to hit him before he dies. It slowly goes down as I hit him. So you're kind of trying to dodge all these things, create points, not get hit by them, but kill that boss up there. But a couple things I noticed right away when I created the boss, or the kind of the you always have a boss in these kind of games, right? They always come out. Well, that guy's not shooting or doing much. He's just going back and forth. You can see him up there. Now granted, you can sit here for a long time and try to kill him. I can maybe adjust how long it takes to kill him and all that stuff. But overall, you can see in here, it's just amazing like what they can do. And this is like, it took me about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at this point to create this. But this isn't perfect game yet, all right? It's still kind of, that boss doesn't make a lot of sense. So what I want to do next is I want to make sure that boss comes out and he flies around the screen and tries to get at me, all right? He tries to shoot, he tries to dodge. And in fact, I want to be able to move up and down and sideways as well. So let's go back to the tail of the tape and we're going to add some of this stuff. Okay, so basically in ChatGPT, the next thing I created, just put this right underneath where they give you the code. Just list this right underneath. I typed in, make the boss fly around the screen. Also make his hit points 5 hits before he blows up. So I want to make him, easier to kill. Also have him fire at a slightly higher rate than the other ships, all right? But he's going to fly around now. So what it did is it said some stuff in here telling me what it's going to do, and then it created the code here again. It went ahead and it created all this code for me. Now this time was a little unusual. This is the thing you have to understand about ChatGPT, all right? When you go in here and you create something, and if it doesn't work, you just have to go back and reprompt it, all right? Because what happened in this one is I went ahead and I actually tried it, and I couldn't get past the screen where I could start the whole thing. It wouldn't even start. The game just kind of sat there. It looked like it was about to start, but it never did anything. So whatever I did here kind of messed everything up, all right? But how did I fix it? Again, a 10-year-old could do this. Take a look. All I did is I typed in the code didn't work. I tried to start it and it didn't start. Can you troubleshoot it, all right? That's all I said in there. How hard is this? Do you need actually a degree to do this? No. It's pretty crazy, right? So I went ahead and did that. It said, it came back with some information, but realistically, it just kind of redid the code for me. So it knew the idea it wouldn't start. It went ahead and recalculated everything for me and gave me a whole nother thing here, which I pasted in, and this actually works. So let's take a look at what it looks like right now. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so here we are. This is the game that I have right now. So I think this game's awesome. Now again, we're going to have to wait 30 seconds. I'll actually play this for the full 30 seconds. So all these little saucers are going to be coming down, but you can make these saucers anything you want. You can make them little Apple icons. You just tell it what to do. It does it. It's crazy. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And now if you watch me, I can go up. Watch this. I can fly up. I can fly down. Actually, I'm going pretty slow here. But you can see I go up very slowly. I can go down. I can move around here. It all depends on what you want to do. But long story short, you can kind of move around the screen. So 30 seconds is here. Now here's the boss. Look, he's coming down. He hit me. So I just lost, 2 lives? I got to try to kill him. Hold on, let me get over here. I'm getting hit. I think I have 1 life left. Long story short, you have to hit him. I got him. So you can see that now. I just died because I got hit 3 times. So pretty amazing. You can make it easier, you can make it harder, but this took literally me. What did it take? Obviously the video is even longer than what it took me. The code takes a little bit of time depending on the computer you're on, but it's super, super simple, and it works so flawlessly. So let me go back and then we'll kind of wrap this up. Okay, next though, let me know in the comments if you want to see me expand this series. Maybe I'm going to see how good I can take this game, how much I can put into it, or maybe I can actually make this into an executable kind of a Mac app that goes on your Mac. Maybe I'll start doing more advanced games, things like that. So if you guys really want to try to learn this, and I'll kind of go through just not only the basics, then I'll go into some more of the advanced features. Let me know in the comments if you like watching this. To me, it's just an incredible hobby. Like I said, it's not so much that you don't have to be a coder. Once you sit down and do it at nighttime, trust me, it's going to become a hobby of yours. You sit down after after dinner and start fooling around. Like I said, you can put your friend's head as the aliens, whatever you want to do. It's so fun. You can add mountains and stuff that kind of get eaten away. You can add tanks. You can do whatever you want. You can make 80s games, 90s games, whatever you didn't have before that is not available on the Mac. You could just recreate them. It's so cool. So post in the comments. I just wanted to show you how a 10-year-old could do this, and I just showed you it's definitely possible. What did I have? About 5 prompts in there to create that game. It's incredible. So even if you don't like ChatGPT, check this out. It's something that I know a lot of people don't like using it for other things, but for this kind of stuff, it's just so fun. Give it a shot. You know, creativity is the best thing on your Mac, right? That's what we're all about. And we will talk to you guys in the next one. I do the Apple News on the weekends. Talk to you soon. Peace.